Okay, finally saw Chainsaw Man and Jesus. So the main character is named Denji. He's broken poor, has a dog that has a chainsaw coming out of his head. He's in a lot of debt that belonged to his father. His dad died, and the Yakuza put the responsibility on him to pay it off. In the beginning, he has a dream and he's walking through this alley. There's a door, he gets to the door, but before he opens it, he wakes up. To try and pay off his debt, Denji becomes a devil hunter. So it's one of those shows. Demons, spirit detectives, demons, demon slayers, curses, jujutsu sorcerers. By killing devils, he can pay off the Yakuza. Also, he can keep some of the money to help pay for food. I believe he sold his left eye and his right or left nut. While he's laying around with his dog, he's talking about his dreams and what he wants to do, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. Denji gets called by the Yakuza, thinking he's about to murder a devil in this warehouse. The Yakuza makes a deal with the zombie devil to obtain more power. There are tons of other devils such as the Bat Devil, the Contract Devil, and the Walmart Devil, the Disneyland Devil. The more they are feared, the more stronger they become. Everyone is a zombie and they start killing Denji. They dispose of his body parts in the dumpster. While he is dead, his dog Pochita ends up giving him his heart. He comes back to life and the zombie devil this time orders the undead to start eating him. I fucking hate zombies. While he's being eaten, he arises from the pile and becomes Chainsaw Man, and my reaction was...
Okay.
I had already known about what he was going to look like when I saw the advertisements in the show or for this show, and I was just not impressed. He starts hacking away at the zombies. After his battle, he's worn out. Miss Makima, a professional devil hunter, shows up, sees all the bloody bodies laying around, asks Denji if he could come with her and be her pet, or she could kill him. Obviously, he ends up going with her. So the show doesn't really have a complicated storyline. It's already set a bloody and gory tone, going back to Denji's dreams. Does he want to become a successful businessman, doctor, or electrician? Nope. Does he want to become rich? Nope. Does he want to gain more respect from people? Nope. He wants to fondle a pair of tits. Yes, a pair of titties. He wants to grab a pair of watermelons. His raging hormones throughout the show become a theme. Miss Makima and her assistant takes Denji to get something to eat. But before they get to their destination, Miss Makima establishes that if he says yes, he must respond by saying woof, like a good dog. He doesn't continue to do that throughout the show, which I was glad because that would have irritated me. Denji is enamored by her looks and assets, says that he is in love, but that was his dick talking. He asks her what kind of guys is she into, and she responds by saying she likes dingy boys. Or, I like dingy boys. Denji gets excited thinking he has a shot, but to me that came off as she likes doing experiments on dingy boys. They go off to the devil headquarters. I can't remember the name, so I'm calling it that. There we see Denji's partner, Aki Hayakawa. He's the serious character of the show, who doesn't talk much, seems to have a bad attitude. Denji and Aki go on an assignment to take down this fiend. Fiends can take control of corpses. On the way there, Aki starts beating up Denji, stating that he's basically doing this job for the wrong reasons. He's only doing this just so he can get close to Makima. Denji responds by saying yep. Aki tells him to quit. He throws his cigarette butt on him and spits on him. Denji gets up and kicks Aki in the balls from behind. I was like, hell yeah, you spit on someone, you need to get your ass whooped. But that also killed the mystique of Aki. Aki being all quiet and serious, I'm thinking he's a tough, powerful badass. Then he allows himself to get kicked in the balls from behind. Well, maybe he isn't that strong, I was thinking. By the way, devil hunters, they aren't like demon slayers where they can jump 20 feet in the air and take serious damage, hit opponents with their special attacks. They have contracts with devils. If they want to use their powers, they have to sacrifice something in return. So Denji and Aki take on the fiend. Aki wants Denji to go chainsaw mode, but Denji refuses, makes up a reason as to why he won't use his powers. Instead kills the fiend with an axe. Aki pushes his head up against the window, tells Denji he witnessed a devil kill his family. He's had drinks with the police, the people who are putting their lives on the line to protect their family. Then there's you, who wants to be friends with a devil. Denji says he'll gladly be friends with a devil. Of course, that pisses off Aki, and he leaves. And then we find the real reason as to why he didn't go chainsaw mode, because he didn't want to mess up the naughty magazines. Now another devil protagonist enters the story called Power, and this girl was absolutely annoying when she first showed up. Maki pairs up Denji with her. They are out patrolling the area for devils. Power's horns keeps devils away from her. Power sees a devil and then smashes it with her giant blood hammer that she can create out of thin air. Power gets into a bit of trouble with Makima. She blames it on Denji, and the two begin bickering at each other. Once they are alone, Power begins telling Denji how much she hates humans, but she loves cats, and Denji also mentions that he wants to feel a pair of boobs. Power tells a story about how her cat got taken away by a devil. If he helps her, she'll let Denji fill her up. Then Denji of course says, hell yeah, fuck that devil, let's go. I'm paraphrasing. And the two go off to find the devil. While they are walking towards this abandoned house, Power ends up betraying Denji. Her story was bullshit. The bat devil has her cat. He'll only give it back to her if she can find him a human to devour. He tries to eat Denji, but he rejects him because his blood tastes awful. That leads to him betraying Power by not giving her cat back. Everybody is just betraying each other, kind of like Attack on Titan. Betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. The bat ends up eating Power, goes flying off to the city, looking to eat humans. Denji latches on the devil, starts drinking his blood to get his strength back. Two start fighting, he ends up killing it, then he saves Power and her cat. Power asks him, why did you save me? He points to her breast and makes a squeezing gesture. Next, this other devil shows up. It looks like a giant mutated penis with udders and tentacles. And I thought that's what it was at first. Penis devil. Thankfully it wasn't. It was a leech devil. What would a vagina devil look like? Like, if it were to have attacks, if it were to give you HIV, what would you call it? The Brittany Renner or the Tiana Trump? Anyway, Denji is about to be devoured and Aki shows up to save him by using the fox devil, and I thought that was pretty cool. Denji and Aki are in the hospital. Aki tells Denji that he won't let anyone know about his deal with Power unless he does everything that he says. At this point, I'm not hating the show. I had low expectations going into the show. This is yet another anime that I can come away from and say that the animations and the fights are fantastic. Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and now Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho 100, right? You can obviously see that a lot of work are put into these animations. I didn't mention that Denji has been living with Aki earlier. Makima sends Power to live with Aki as well because she thinks he'll do a good job of keeping an eye on them and putting them in check when they get out of hand. Plus, she trusts him more than anyone. So Power ends up raising hell, makes life difficult for the two, acting like a 2-year-old. But then Power follows through on her deal to let Denji feel her up. Denji gets all nervous and anxious as if he's about to lose his virginity. She allows him to cop 3 feels. The first time he feels her up, these double D cups fall out, and I thought that made sense because when they were dealing with the Bat Devil, Power's past was revealed and she had no breast. He fills them up 2 more times and has this look of disappointment as if his favorite cartoon got canceled. That's the feeling you get when you lose your virginity. You were expecting much more like the stuff you see on the internet or on Cinemax After Dark. That was it? You asked yourself. Denji is in Makima's office. She asks him what's wrong. He tells her that he felt a pair of boobs and he was probably more satisfied by chasing the dream of feeling some tits. I honestly didn't think he'd tell her, so she grabs his hand, turns him forcefully towards her, thinking she's going to let him have it for not taking things seriously, having his mind being focused on something like filling a girl up, because she seems like a no-nonsense type of person. She's weird, but I think she takes her job seriously. So is she going to come down on him for thinking about boobs more than his job? Nope. She gives him a little bit of sexual advice, puts his thumb in her mouth, puts his hand on her breast. He gives a squeeze, freaks out, and falls over. Makima whispers in his ear, asks him for a favor. If he does it, she'll do anything he asks. Anything. Pie is such a powerful thing, isn't it? And I refer to the woman's vagina as pie. I think it sounds way better than pussy. She tells him about the gun devil, who seems to be the antagonist of the show. It never appears, but it shows Aki's family being killed. There are pieces of the gun devil that the devil hunters have collected. If a devil consumes a piece, its powers increases. If they have enough pieces, they could find the gun devil. The group rejoins at this hotel, but this time with some new faces. Hirokazu, Kobeni, and Himeno. Oh, Himeno. Trying to find another piece of the gun devil before they go in. Himeno bribes everyone that whoever kills the devil will get a smooch. Denji is not interested. He's thinking about Makima, but then Himeno promised that she'll use tongue. And of course, he goes in. What a shock. They all get stuck on the 8th floor. Can't get out. The devil who's manipulating the hotel is the contract devil. They are in its stomach. In order for them to get out, they have to give him Denji. And the devils are interested in his heart for some reason. Kobeni and Hirozawa, however the fuck you say his name, are freaking out. They want Denji to get sacrificed so they can get out. Sorry. Kobeni actually tries to kill Denji a couple of times. She ends up stabbing Aki because he got in the way. So Denji jumps down and takes on this devil. He's swinging and gutting it to death. Everybody else gets bored, ends up sleeping. Denji was fighting the thing for like 3 days apparently. He kills it and that was that. I thought that was pretty funny. This anime was actually kind of funny. Not a whole lot of animes make me chuckle as much as this one did. So they go out, hang out with some of the other hunters at this restaurant. Himeno is getting drunk, and when she drunks, apparently she kisses all the new dude employees that's with her or around her, and apparently no one is safe, according to her partner. So she's kind of easy. She kisses Denji. Their tongues are wrestling with each other, similar to a thumb wrestling match. How much sexual content in anime must be so damn detailed. While she is kissing him, she vomits in his mouth. Not expecting that. Was not expecting that. Never seen that before in an anime. Before she kissed him, she found out that he was 16. Now that the fun is over, everyone's parting ways. Himeno is carrying Denji on her back to her place. Denji starts waking up. Himeno gets on top, kisses him, no barf this time, begins trashing Makima. Why is he so into her and this and that? Ask him if he wants to do it, and he's like, what? And she says, fuck. Pause. I started to get nervous, okay? Started to get nervous. With the way the show was going, I honestly thought they were going to start fucking. And I would have felt so uncomfortable. I would have felt like I was watching hentai. I don't need sex scenes in the programs and movies that I watch. Makes me feel like I'm watching an adult film. So she starts doing her thing, makes her way down to his pants, feels this Chupa Chups sucker that Makima gave him. There's a flashback. Makima is getting Denji some medicine. Denji is opening up to Makima of possibly kissing a bunch of girls in the future and it tasting like vomit, worrying that he'll have more vomit kisses in his future from other girls. She gives him her sucker. Once the flashback is over, Himeno is asleep on the bed. Denji is on the ground, saying to himself he wants his first time to be with Makima. The next day, Himeno makes a deal saying that she'll be Denji's wingman to help him get with Makima. He'll help her get with Aki. So there you go. Himeno did not commit statutory. I noticed when the season was going on that there were some clips from Chainsaw Man kind of going viral on social media, and it usually involved the women. And if I was some horny 12-year-old, I probably would have be more excited about these scenes, but I'm not. I'm just glad that they weren't shown fucking. Alright, almost to the ending. Miss Makima is seen on the train with her employee or assistant. She's going to Kyoto. While they are on the train, they get killed by these gunmen. The other devil hunters are getting murdered as well. Denji and the gang are enjoying some ramen. The grandson of one of the Yakuza members is talking about his grandfather and how he was before he died. He shows Denji a photo, says that the gun devil is after his heart, begins shooting at Denji. He hits Denji. He hits Himeno. Aki uses his devil fox to try and stop him, but the gunman splits the devil fox's forehead wide open and gets free. He has katanas coming out of his hands and a katana coming out of his forehead, basically the same thing as Denji's chainsaw form. Anyway, Aki tries to stop Blade Man, I'm calling him that for the rest of the review, by using the sword that he carries around with him. Whenever he uses it, it shortens his lifespan. While he is using the sword, this little mouth does this countdown to unleash this cursed devil. It kills Blade Man, but this girl shows up and revives him. Blade Man seriously wounds Aki. Himeno uses her contract devil, which is this ghost devil, a ghost hand. Devil refuses because she doesn't like the girl that is there. Himeno offers to give it everything that she has. The ghost goes in for the attack. While it's fighting, Himeno is disappearing. The girl who is there uses her snake devil. God, all these damn devils. Snake devil, ghost devil, contract devil. It swallows the ghost devil up, so she dies, and that was a shocker. That was a shocker. Didn't expect her to die so quickly in the first season. But before the little ghost hand fades away, it pulls Denji's chainsaw cord. He goes chainsaw mode. Blade Man and Chainsaw Man start going at it. One of the henchmen gets involved in the battle. Denji takes the henchman hostage, tries getting Blade Man to back down. Blade Man. But he says fuck you and the henchman and cuts them both in half. He didn't really say that. I'm just saying like he just didn't really care about saving his partner's life. He was like fuck it, I'll kill you both. Meanwhile, on the train, Makima comes back to life. What a shock, didn't see that coming. Kills the henchman, meets up with these other two hunters. She asks one of them to borrow 100 convicts who's serving life sentences. Asks the other hunter to find the highest temple. Going back to Denji, they're trying to escape with him. While they are trying to get away, people start exploding. It's Makima's doing. She asks the convicts the names of the henchmen involved in the murders of the hunters and attempting to kidnap Denji. Once she has those names, she is absolutely mangling all these henchmen. The convicts that gives the names dies as well. An interesting power. No one is allowed to know about the devil that she has a contract with. So Blade Man and the other girl is still trying to escape with Denji Kobeni shows up, starts displaying some acrobatic skills for like 2 minutes. She wasn't a wreck. She starts shooting at Blade Man, takes some shots at the snake girl. They end up getting away. She begins crying again, says that she's going to quit next time she sees Himeno. Aki is in the hospital. Denji and Power are there. Denji and Power tells him what happened. If they leave the room for a bit, Denji comes back, hears Aki crying over the loss of Himeno. Denji realizes that he hasn't shed one single tear about Himeno or Pochita. Then he starts thinking about if Power died or Makima died, he wouldn't be so upset. As long as he has food and a bed, someone to take care of him, basically, he's golden. Then he wonders, when he lost his human heart, did he lose his emotions as well? When season 2 comes out, assuming it does, because this show is so popular, him being so emotionless towards other people will be a vocal point in the show. Maybe another character comes in and plays a vital part in the story. That person probably loses someone important to him or her. Denji at some point will reflect on some of the lives that were lost, how devastated everyone was when they lost someone important to them, and ask himself why he can't feel any type of sorrow. The devils are after his heart anyway, so I could see that being a factor. Training begins now. Makima takes Power and Denji to Captain Kishibe. This dude is a shit kicker. He asks them 3 questions. How do you feel about your comrades dying? Do you want revenge? Humans or devil? Which side are you on? Both answered each question pretty selfishly. Kishibe tells him that he's a public safety honor from Special Division 1. His hobbies include drinking and women. I'm thinking he's about to hug them both, but instead he starts strangling them, gives them some blood, and they're good as new. Kishibe basically wants them to be strong enough to take him down. They try but fail. The 2 hunters that brought Makima those convicts, and the one that found the temple, shows up to Aki's room. Aki can't use the Fox Devil anymore because it was pissed about trying to swallow Blade Man, and that didn't go too well. They tell him that he needs to make a contract with a stronger devil. The 2 leave, and Himeno's sister shows up with some letters that Himeno sent to her over the years. Aki meets the future devil. The devil has a wacky personality, but it's still evil. He sticks his face in the devil eyeball stomach. He says he'll move into his right eye because he's going to die a horrific death, paraphrasing, or he's going to go out in the worst way possible. Denji and Power train some more. Kishibe is seen talking to Makima. They're talking about the attack that happened against the hunters. Sources say that she knew that it was coming, but still let it happen anyway. It seems like he doesn't really trust her too much. If Makima ends up being a villain, I don't think people will hate that. She does have a dangerous and dark type of vibe to her. The devil hunters go after Blade Man. I like call him that. They still have some zombies in the basement of the building that they are going to go into. We see Kishibe's team of fiends. There's a shark fiend, a spider fiend, fucking hate spiders, an angel, a guy with a mask whose mask cannot be removed under no circumstance. Aki ends up going upstairs, encounters Snake Girl. She is in possession of Himeno's ghost, uses it to try and kill Aki. Aki can use the future devil's power to take a peek into the future, but it's only just a peek. The devil has him by the throat. A flashback is shown between Himeno and Aki. It lets him go, hands him a cigarette that says easy revenge. He chops the ghost devil's head off. Kobeni has a butcher knife by the snake girl's throat. Now Power and Denji are on an elevator. The door opens. There are zombies. They don't notice them, but Power's dumbass draws attention to them. She starts fighting the zombies. Denji just stays in the elevator and allows the door to close. So he meets up with Blade Man again. They start talking, and then they start fighting again. They end up on this train. Blades and chainsaws are just getting swung around like crazy. Denji gets the better of him. He ties him to a train. Aki and Denji start kicking him in the balls over and over and over again. Makima tells her bosses about what happened, the progress of finding the gun devil. After that, Denji, Power, and Aki are enjoying life. Then Denji is having that dream that he had at the beginning of the show. He's at the door. Pochita tells him not to open the door no matter what. A girl appears out of nowhere, walking to this what seemed to be a cafe. She says, "Tell me, Denji, if you had to choose between a country mouse or a city mouse, what would you rather be?" The door closes and the show ends. Okay, so I was going to give this show an 8 out of 10, but then I asked myself, which characters am I a fan of besides Denji? Aki, don't really care too much for him. He's that serious character who suffered a horrible loss, but I'm just not feeling him. Himeno, why? Because she's cute. Kobene, she's a wreck. Power, she was super annoying when she first showed up, but she started to kind of grow on me as the show went on. Seeing her and Denji bickering, they eventually started to come off as brother and sister to me, but still not a fan, not that much of a fan. Kishibe, he was cool. Makima, I find her to be, I want to find out more about her. I thought the show did a good job of keeping her as an unknown, You don't really know a whole lot about her. I would not be surprised if she ends up betraying the hunters, and I don't know, maybe she has some fucked up plan to where she becomes the most powerful devil on the planet. But again, can't say that I'm a fan. I don't care for Denji's chainsaw transformation, which is a problem because that's the trademark of the show, right? It's the logo of the show. It is the show. It's called Chainsaw Man. All he can do is swing his saws, and hopefully he'll get stronger by shooting his chainsaws at his opponents. You know, he'll develop some long range attacks. Because of that, I give this show a 7 out of 10. If I was a fan of the other characters, if I enjoyed Denji's transformation, probably would be a 9 out of 10. It was a lot better than I thought. Going into this show, I had low expectations. I thought it would be the stupidest show that I had ever seen. Chainsaw Man, I'm like, I'm not watching this. And I see the trailer, I'm like, I'm definitely not watching this. But I kept hearing about it, so I decided to check it out. That's how I find my animes. If I'm on Crunchyroll or Hulu or Netflix and I'm scrolling and I see something that interests me, I'll check it out. Or if I hear a lot about a show, I'll check it out. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. There are some good things that I like. The dub for this show was the best part. Characters interacting with each other is like how people usually interact with each other. Funny punchlines like cough up the tits. No cringy cornball moments like my true inner strength comes from the power of my friends. Comes from the belief from my friends. None of those moments that make me feel bad inside. It makes me want to turn down the TV. It's different. I've never seen anything like this show. Never seen a main character's motivation in life is to feel some boobs and to get laid while fighting for mankind. I'm not a fan of his chainsaw transformation, but I do like how the way he is able to transform by pulling the cord from his chest, so I'll give it some credit. And of course, the fight scenes are amazing, absolutely beautiful. So this show is not as bad as I thought. So tell me what you guys think of the show. I noticed that I reached over 100 subscribers, and I wanted to say thank you for giving my content a chance. Now some jerk off might be like, that's not a lot. I don't care. I'm proud of that. Thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people who took the time out of their lives to watch my videos. So please continue to subscribe and help my channel grow. And please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.